The Mitsubishi A6M Zero was a Japanese single-seat fighter that dominated the Pacific at the beginning of World War II. First entering service in 1940, the Zero outclassed any plane it encountered over China, and its superiority continued into the Pacific War. Though the official Allied designation for it was Zeke, Allied pilots referred to it as the Zero in reference to its Japanese designation of Navy Type Zero carrier fighter. Its own pilots referred to it as Ryzen, a contraction meaning Zero fighter. The Zero was designed as a carrier-based fighter, and great emphasis was placed on range, lightness, and maneuverability. As a result, the Zero was relatively fragile, but it could outperform any fighter thrown against it for much of the war. This was a carrier plane that outclassed land-based fighters of the day, like the P-39 Airacobra and P-40 Warhawk, and it even proved a challenge for early Spitfires. When pitted against its common opponent, the F-4F Wildcat, the Zero had the advantage in speed, range, and maneuverability, all while maintaining comparable firepower. The Zero was unmatched in its theater until 1943, when the US began introducing high-powered fighters like the F-6F Hellcat and the F-4U Corsair. Before the arrival of such planes, US pilots had to develop hit-and-run tactics to deal with Zeros, since a head-on dogfight would be a death sentence. An American pilot would make sure he had a speed and height advantage before engaging, and would zip down to fire a burst into a Zero, continuing the dash until he was out of range. These bursts were often enough to destroy a Zero, since its aggressive and lightweight design sacrificed armor and self-sealing fuel tanks. Later Zeros were redesigned with these features to increase durability, but the added weight took a heavy toll on performance. The Zero was produced in a variety of models throughout the war, but the common A6M Model 21 was armed with two 20mm cannons in the wings and two 7.7mm machine guns in the engine cowling. It could also carry two 130-pound bombs or a fixed 550-pound bomb for kamikaze attacks later in the war. The Zero was powered by a Nakajima Sakae 12 engine that generated 950 horsepower, allowing its light airframe to achieve a top speed of over 330 miles per hour. When fitted with a single drop tank, it had a range of over 1,900 miles, making it one of the longest-range single-engine fighters of World War II. Later models added a more powerful engine that increased speed, but at the expense of range due to increased fuel consumption. With more than 10,000 produced over the course of the war, the Zero was Japan's most common aircraft, and it proved to be one of the most effective fighter aircraft of the era. And that is the A6M Zero in a nutshell.